Hello guys, this is Kazum from Ingzo. Before you start watching this video, I just want to let you know that we have our online English courses. If you are interested in learning English with us, don't forget to register. All the contacting details are given below. Now, please enjoy watching the video, and if you have any further comments, please comment below. I'll contact you anytime if you wish. Great, so I have started recording. As I have mentioned in my message that I have sent you yesterday by Telegram, from today we're going to start working on every single IELTS, Cambridge IELTS questions, task 2 questions. We'll try to look through all the questions, and I hope that when we finish all of them, you guys will not have any questions related to the writing task 2. Because we will cover basically and literally all the questions that are going to be in IELTS Cambridge IELTS 1 to 14. So what we have done with my previous group, we have done Cambridge Test 1, Cambridge 1 Test 1 with them. So what I advise you to do is after you finish watching this lesson, I advise you to go to YouTube. I'm going to upload the lesson that I have done with the previous group. That was on topic Test 1, Cambridge 1 Test 1. Now what we're going to do with you guys, we're going to work on Test 2 of Cambridge 1. So that's how you're going to track all the questions. And it's better for you guys to follow all the videos that I'm going to send to you through Telegram. But before we start the lesson, I want to ask you some questions like, do you guys have any problems related to YouTube? Is it difficult? Like, is there any difficulty that you have or that you face with watching videos on YouTube? Do you have any difficulties? Just text it on a chat box over here. If you guys have any difficulties, let me know. But if you don't have, just write no. Okay, Kumush, she doesn't have any questions, problems related to YouTube. Basically, these days, YouTube is not working. I mean, it's working very, very well. Some people feel like YouTube has some problems, but I don't think there is a problem related to YouTube. Others than Kumush, what about the others? Do you guys follow all the videos that I send? If you have any problems related to watching it on YouTube, just let me know, because I know that some of you are watching, but most of you are not. And if you even watch, you watch like a couple of seconds, couple of minutes, and just skip or go to another more interesting videos like interesting, no, and I have already subscribed to the channel. Yes, great. You have to be subscribed to the channel so that you can follow every single video that I'm sending. I will upload the lesson that I have done before you with my previous group. Again, I'm repeating. We have done Cambridge 1 Test 1 with them. So you can watch it and analyze what kind of things we have gone through. So now what we're going to do with you guys is we're going to analyze Cambridge 1 Test 2. So that's how you're going to, but that lesson was in Uzbek basically. This lesson is going to be mostly in English. If there are some things that I need to explain in Uzbek so that I can feel more comfortable, that you understand every single detail, I will switch to Uzbek. Or if you don't really understand what I'm saying, you can ask me to re-explain it in our own language. But as far as you have no questions, if you have everything clear, we will directly go into the next step. So I feel like Shahnur is having a problem with his voice. Shahnur, you need to go out and okay, he's gonna make it himself. So we're going to start the lesson. Kamal is here, Munira, Kamush, Jasur, Murajan. I'm glad to see you all guys. I hope that we're going to have a very interesting lesson. So we have We haven't got a lot of time, so we're just going to go directly to the part of the lesson. What we're gonna do is start working on the questions. So we've got Cambridge IELTS 1 over here, and this is practice test 2. Basically, the tests were a little bit easier. The questions were more clear in the beginning. I don't say that they are not clear these days, but they're a little bit complicated when it comes to asking a question. So we're going to go step by step. If everything is fine, just text plus over there on the chat box so that I can start my lesson. Is everything fine with the voice? With yes? Great. Thank you. Munira, if everything is fine, then we're going to start. So writing task 2, practice test 2. So you should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Present a written argument or case to an educated reader with no special knowledge of the following topic. You see here, it's giving even with no specialist knowledge. So that reader has his educational background, but he doesn't really have a specialist knowledge on the following topic. So you need to just present your own basic information, which comes to your mind first. So the topic is, should wealthy nations be required to share their wealth among poorer nations by providing such things as food and education? Or is it the responsibility of the governments or of poorer nations to look after their citizens themselves? So we're going to go step by step through everything, single question. And what we need to do again, well, you are required to write 250 words, and other requirements are here. You use your own ideas. You're not using someone's idea. Knowledge, experience, and support your argument with examples and with relevant evidence. So it's the basic structure that I always teach you. You should give an example, and you should support your you should give an explanation, and you should support your explanation with examples that are relevant to your explanation. So first of all, we are going to open our file which we have. So what we're going to do is I'm going to repeat the same steps until I feel comfortable that you guys have no problem with this. So what we're going to do is, first we're going to plan, then we're going to write, and then we're going to check. So what are the things that we need to do while we are planning? What are these things that we have to do when we're planning? So we have a planning step 1, which is analyze the question type. We have here the question. The question asks us to discuss and to give our opinion. So this is going to be a discussion plus opinion essay. We have done something like this. Yeah. If you can see, that question is say here, should wealthy nations be required to share their wealth among poorer nations by providing such things as food and education? Or means, so now we have to discuss this or that, and then we should give our opinion. So in those IELTS that we have nowadays, they say discuss and give your opinion. Discuss both views and give your opinion. So we're going to discuss both views and give our opinion. So this is a discussion and opinion essay. Understand? Clear? Is everything clear to everybody? Okay, so the next step that we need to do is analyze questions. So when we are analyzing the question, what are the things that we need to pay attention? Here are the things that we need to pay attention. These are, what is the general topic and what is the specific topic of the question. So we need to pay attention to everything which is specific and which is general. We need to take away the general part of the question. So what is the general part of this question? What is the general topic of this question? Can you tell me? General topic of this question. Can you tell me what is the general topic of the question? Guys, I ask you, and I urge you to be a little bit more active. If you don't have a piece of paper and a pencil next to you, just bring it. Start writing as soon as we get the question. You need to pay attention to everything that I'm saying, but at the same time, what you're required to do is, I don't really need to explain the same steps again and again. I have explained already, I guess, like 3 or 4 times. So first thing, you need to analyze what type of question it is. Then you need to analyze what's the general and specific topic about this. And then you need to specify keywords and find their synonyms in order to make your essay more clear. So this all are uh, planning stage of our essay. So if we know exactly how to plan our essay, then it's going to look more professional. So again, I'm asking you guys, tell me, what is the general? Next time, I will not ask you what is the general topic. So you should be ready. You should be thinking while I'm talking. You should be thinking, okay, what's the general topic of this question? What is the specific topic of this question? Here. So you should start writing on the chat box over here, letting me know what is the general and what is the specific topic of the question. Is everything clear? Do you understand? Who should support poor people? Who should support the poor? Okay. Any other ideas? Is this the general or specific topic, Kamola? Are we talking about general topic right now? Yeah. Okay. Any ideas? Any more ideas? Like anyone else? Please give me your ideas. What is the general topic of this question? Murajan, Kamush, Jasur, you guys are passive today. Go ahead, go on, think. What is the general topic of the question? Education and food. Should wealthy require poor providing food and education? General topic. Education and food. No. Karil, here the general topic of the question is wealthy nations, poor nations. Yes, Mubarak, that's great. Wealthy nations, poorer nations, this is the general topic. We're not talking about wealthy nations, we're not talking about poor nations. We are going to talk whether the wealthy nations are responsible to take care of poor nations. So wealthy nations, poor nations is the general topic. So we're not going to talk about wealthy or poor nations. We need to identify. Okay, so we have identified. How do we identify the general topic? You know, this has like a whole everything inside. So we've got inside of this, we've got supporting with food or education. So it's the second stage. First comes the biggest topic, Kamush. So you need to take what is the biggest topic. What's the biggest main topic of this? Let's say question. The question is here. It's talking about supporting poor nations with food or education. It's not like such as. Here it says such things as. It's not exactly food or education. You can talk about any other things. Here, the specific topic is, what is it? Responsibility. Like, should wealthy nations be required to share their wealth? Responsibility to share their wealth, or responsibility of the government. So we've got two things here. Share their wealth, sharing their wealth, or government support, responsibility of the government. So these are the two specific topics that we need to take care. We need to talk about. We need to clearly show exactly. Okay, this is about the rich nations to be responsible for, or the government should be responsible for this type of people. So the specific topic is, you understand, right? Is everything clear up to now? If you have any questions, just fire them away. I will be reading from the chat box and trying to explain you in details, because you guys have to be active, a little bit active. If everything is clear, just write clear, great, understand, comment all the time what I'm saying, because otherwise I don't exactly know if you guys getting what I'm saying or not. Okay, that's great. Munira, clear? Maybe only for Munira? Only for Munira. If it's clear, I can still continue because there's only one, if at least everything is understandable. Great. Okay, so we're now going to go to the next step. This step should be done very fast. We don't need to really waste our time doing like this. We should we should try to make it faster and make it a little bit active, a little bit be more interactive, and try to support me with your ideas all the time. Great. So the next step, what we need to do is exactly, we have analyzed the top of question. We know that it's a discussion and opinion question. We have analyzed the general topic and specific topic of the question. Now we're going to go to the next stage, which is idea generation, idea correction and generation. So we're going to go idea generation. So what we're going to do here, we need to keep it simple. So I know exactly, you guys know exactly what kind of people are poor and what kind of countries or people are rich. And I know exactly that you have some ideas which is coming to you right away. So you should look at the question again and try to answer this questions by, first of all, should wealthy nations be required to share their wealth among poorer nations? So please give me your idea. If yes, why? If no, why? Now let's talk about yes. So what do you think? If it's yes, if the answer is yes, what would you say? Why should wealthy nations be responsible for poorer nations? Okay, Kumush says no, but still try to think a little bit. One or two ideas for yes and one or two ideas for no. Maybe you'll find out later that yes is more more simple for you to explain and give examples. You should make sure that which side is better for you. So if you say think yes, what would you say to the yes side? Should wealthy nations be responsible for poorer nations? Why? Just give me some ideas, guys. Fire them away. Those people who are watching it later online on YouTube, guys, I will be looking at all the comments. I will be happy to see your comments. Those students who will watch it later from my previous group, please comment your ideas below. I will read them and give you my feedbacks. Those who are doing it online, do it right now. Please go ahead. Why should wealthy nations support poorer nations? No idea? Make the question easy. If you were in the United States or any country which is wealthy, would you be responsible to support some African countries or some poor countries? Like, would you be responsible? Should wealthy nations be required to share their wealth and poor providing such things like food and education? Kamush, great. She's Kamala. People should help other people in difficult situations if they can afford it. Okay, why? Okay. Why? We're not talking about people again. Kamala, be careful. We're talking about nations. Population, their citizens are not responsible for another citizens. We're not talking about the nation, the whole government. Okay, that like the United States of America is responsible, let's say, for African countries, like any very very undeveloped country, or any other country that you know well, or Great Britain is responsible for, I don't know, any country which is not developed. Yes, because one day poor nations can help to wealthy nation. With what? Okay, so so this could become the other side, the other way, and how? Because they need to share their wealthy, because they have an opportunity to for this. Okay, I feel like Kumusha sent something. Every country has difficulties, and rich countries overcome them. Poor countries are also able to do, but maybe because of laziness. Well, it's not about laziness. In most of the cases, it's about the economical structure of the country or resources that they have. For example, United Arab Emirates, they have great. They are rich in national resources, and this is the thing that what made them rich. I know exactly that most of the people who live in United Arab Emirates, they are lazy. They didn't reach this position in the world to be one of the richest countries because of their hard working. It's because they have a great natural resources over there. So I would not go and support this idea. The main reason, if they help each other, equality occurs around the world, and hereafter the industry of any country would go up easily. Yes, this is great. So you guys are trying to give your ideas in a in a written manner. You're trying to give your ideas in like in one sentence or like even in two sentences. I would not support this part to be doing like this because you're going to waste your time, and later you will not. You will find out that you're running out of your time. You just need to write down a couple of words. Couple of words. Okay. Okay. So you just need to draw here yes and no. Support by rich people, rich nationalities. Yes. Why? Yes, because uh, later they can get back something. Yes, it's about food and education. For example, you don't know exactly what is going to happen with the world right now. Let's say the U.S. has a lot of problems with their with their citizens because most of them are getting injected. In fact, I'm sorry, infected by coronavirus, and yeah, maybe some poor nations can be able to help them with maybe they can send some drug, or I don't know, give their one of the part of their place to I don't know, with anything. So just need to think about it. Yes and no. So you guys have to think broadly, a little bit broadly, and no, why not? Okay, let's talk about no. So we've got later that they can get another help back. So just make this ideas a little compact. Uh, so yes, because world gets better. Yes, from John's idea, I got the world, the whole world gets better. Reduce the number of criminal actions. Yeah, yeah, reduce the number of criminal actions. Great. This is also a great idea because they need to share their wealth. Poor countries can get used to receive help every time. Um, okay, this is not, again, this is not yes side, Kamush. Yeah, if it's no side, that's fine. Yeah, if it's what you're saying is no side, then what you've written here, poor countries can get used to receive help every time. This, yeah, it's no side. Great. Okay, so if it's no side, then it's great. No, yeah, because poor nations get used to this. Yeah, getting used to is not a good idea. Okay, what else? So we've got getting used to it. What else? Anything else to the no side, to the negative side? Anyone who's watching this later, don't be sitting just watching what we're doing over here. Take a piece of paper and a pencil, try to write it, because if you just watch, there is nothing that you're going to get from here. You can still feel like, okay, I think I'm getting something and I think this ideas are great, but if you don't write yourself, if you don't try to generate your own ideas, that's not going to be helpful. So those who are watching it later online, please work on yourself. Take a piece of paper and a pencil, write it down. No, because everyone is a singular noun. So you need to put, because everyone tries to work hard for living in a good condition. I didn't really get what you want to say, Manira. Everyone tries to work hard. Okay, so uh, everyone tries to work. I don't think that people who live in poor nations, they don't really work. They work, but they don't earn that much, like in rich nation, like in rich countries. Uh, it doesn't mean that they have to stay poor. I didn't really get what you want to say. If you can clearly state what you want to say, please. But you have to make it like in a small 2 or 3 words. Anyone else? Jasur, Marajan, what about you? You guys to the other side. Okay, so if you're not able to generate ideas, let's make it like this. You have to think from your own side. Imagine you are a citizen of a very wealthy country. You have, and let's even imagine that you are the president of that country, and you see that there are other countries like poor countries. Would you give them some help, or would you give an advice to that president? Say you need to support your own country by doing something. Yes. To keep the peace of worlds, countries should support in the whole situation. This is yes, each other. This is yes. Again, we're talking about yes and no signs. Anyone else? Please go. Be a little bit active. Try to write everything that comes to your mind. I will see, and oh god, it's so fast. Okay, so we have to divide into 2 parts. So the next part of the question here is saying, or is it the responsibility of the government of poorer nations to look after their citizens themselves? So if you say no, then you should not go too far. Okay, so as the first may lead to making them even poorer, and also increase the number of criminal actions, and even worse is some cases potentially making some people joining terroristic groups, while the later causes several unpleasant results such as children. Yeah, again, Marajan. uh, you need to be careful. I'm not asking you to write the whole sentence right now. I mean, I'm not asking you to write your paragraph right now. I feel like you have written already your paragraph. You know, if you just start writing, still, you guys need to understand. That's the mistake that most of you do. You start writing directly without putting your ideas into right place. You didn't put your ideas. You're giving. Okay, that's great. Maybe this is not what you're going to write in your IELTS writing, but you have spent lots of time writing like this one paragraph over here, Marjan. So what I suggest and what I advise you to do is to write some couple of words. You're going to write down a couple of words to the yes side. Yes, why? No, why? This couple words, and then you're going to start structuring your essay. You know, when you're structuring, you want to say, okay, this idea is going to be used here. This idea is going to be used here. Now, all of your ideas are like lying in different places. Like you have one idea, it's here. If you have another idea, it's here. We've got hundreds of ideas, but they're all like brainstorming. We're not doing brainstorming. We try to get 2 or 3 ideas to the yes side and to no side. So um, as we know, the structure of the essay, it's a discussion and opinion essay. So you're going to discuss both views. You're going to give one um, yes side, you're going to give one no side, and give your own opinion later. When you're giving yes side and no side, you're not giving from your own side. You're going to discuss it from the third side. You're going to just give your opinion. You're going to give your opinion later from your own side in one paragraph. In one paragraph, you're going to write down your discussion. Governments, like you did over here, Marjan, like you did over here, you have to discuss this first views, and then you can need to give to my personal view, or in my opinion, or from my point of view. I feel like poorer nations should start thinking of um, developing their own infrastructure, economical situation, or whatever, in order to support their nations. Explain why. Because one day they need to become uh, wealthier. One day they need to make sure that their citizens are also getting what they should, and explain why. Explain and give an example why it's like that. For example, yeah, you can give an example of Kazakhstan, which is right next to us, what they have done, how wealth well, I don't know exactly the situation. I'm just bringing you example, so you should bring your own example to this situation. So the next thing that you have to do when you divide it to 2 parts, you've got your yes sides, you've got your no sides. Now what you have to do is to read through the question again and specify the specific words, and find your key to these keywords, find your synonyms, because later you're going to use these keywords again and again, and you don't want to be repeating them again and again. So what are the keywords here? Wealthy nations. So what would be a synonym to the wealthy nations? So what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line over from here to there, something like this. You're going to draw a line and write down wealthy nations. What kind of synonyms do we have to wealthy nations? Okay, so someone is writing over there. Don't need to write on the top desktop over here. Please don't write it. I will do it myself. Just give me your ideas in the chat box. I'm showing you how to do it. So you're going to write down over here your synonyms to the wealthy nations. Okay, so you did a wealthy nation. Yes, if there is no wealth as other countries, they should find something new that can provide them. If there is no wealth as other countries, they should find them something new that can provide them. Yes, yes to. I didn't really get what you want to say. Could you explain? So now we're going to work with specific keywords. Be required. Required. Synonyms. To share. Synonym. Well. Synonym. Poorer. Synonym. Providing. Synonym. Such things as food and education. Synonym. Or is the responsibility. Synonyms. Government. Synonyms. Citizens. Synonyms. So what? Yeah. Okay. So what you're gonna do? So I have selected the keywords that I'm going to use. I'm pretty much sure that I'm going to use these words in my essay a lot. I'm going to repeat these words, these keywords again and again. So in order not to show the repetition of the same word again and again, I need to first write down some synonyms, at least one or two. So wealthy nations, prosperous nations. Okay, required. So required. Give a synonym for required. Give a synonym for wealth. Give some synonyms for poor, for providing, for food and education, responsibility, government, and citizens. Support, provide, wealthy, rich, poor, in need, yes, not needy, in need, people in need. Okay, so what you're gonna do right now is to take a piece of paper, copy the question, and write down as many synonyms as you can. Write down required, demanded, required, demand. Yeah, okay, so you're not gonna do it here because we've got only 1 minute and 48 seconds left until the end of this part of our lesson. The second part is going to be continuing after 10 or 15 minutes. It's for you guys who are online right now. For those who are going to watch this, it's not going to continue after 15. It's just going to be added to this video. Okay, so what you're going to do in this break time, you're going to write down, you're going to copy. I'm going to send this right now to your Telegram channel. Okay, to the Telegram channel. You have it here. You're going to copy the question and make this kind of things to write down your synonyms. And you write down your synonyms, and then please write your introduction. We're going to work on I will see what kind of introduction you have written, and I'll show you my introduction, how I've written to this essay. So I'm going to see you in 10-15 minutes after a break with your synonyms. And please send me your written piece of paper with synonyms, all the words that you have done like this. Send it to my Telegram with a photo. I'm going to see and check it. See you. Great. So the recording has started. We're going to continue our lesson, and I hope that you are learning something. You're really getting something out of everything that I'm saying. So great. I've received some of your introductions. Now we're going to try to analyze them and see what kind of mistakes you have probably made in order not to make the same mistake again and again. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so Kamala. Different people have. Okay, so Kamala, I didn't get your synonyms. I don't think I've got anything from you as a drone here. As I said, you guys have this picture. You have to do what? You had to transfer the exact question into one piece of paper and draw the same lines on the top of it, on below, in order to write down your synonyms. As I said again, try to write down more than one synonyms, because I know exactly that you're going to use the same words in your body part, in your introduction, and in your conclusion. That's why, in order not to make or not to think them while you're writing, make that before. You're just going to make sure that you have written all of your great you have started working all of your synonyms, all of your plannings you have written down, and you have put it on your piece of paper, because it, directly as you look at your piece of paper, then you will feel comfortable, because every time when you want to write about that word, you have a couple of synonyms, so you can use different of them. So first you use the first one that which you have written, then you can use the rest of them. Okay, so I'm gonna look at Kamala's. We've got some other here. So great, Murajan, he has sent his synonyms. Great, wealthy nations, prosperous economies, required demanded wealth, fortune, um, providing, ensuring, poor nations, in indigent society. Yeah, government authority, citizens, residents. Yeah, great responsibility, duty, food and education, primary needs. That's great. Good job. Good job. Synonyms: wealthy nations, rich, prosperous, affluent. Good job. Require, demand, claim, shared. Yes, divide, participate. Great. Wealth, richness, prosperity.
Prosperity. Fortune.
Great, great. Munira, you've done great. I like your approach. That's great, because if you have the more synonyms you have, the better your writing is going to look like. That's great. So before you begin, when you're planning, just write down all of your synonyms that you can. Not the synonyms to unnecessary words. You should select which words are going to be keywords for your essay. Then, as soon as you understand that these words are going to be keywords in your essay, you need to write down your synonyms, and then you're going to start your essay. That's how it's going to be easier for you to make it look more professional and clear for yourself. Again, the beginning of our lesson, I'm going to repeat that thing again. You guys need to follow all the YouTube videos that I'm sending, I'm going to send, that I have already sent. Why? Because you will be learning every single type of question, every single question which has already been given by Cambridge IELTS, starting from 1 to 14. So I'm going to upload them later on YouTube, and I urge you to watch them all. Not only those videos that we have during the lesson, but those extra lessons, that materials that I'm sending, you have to watch them. Okay, great. Kumush, so let's try to look at the uh, great. Just so yeah, just need to turn it over. Wealthy nations, substation, subnational required mandatory. Yeah, it's better to have the question again, because you have been writing the original word and their synonyms. But yeah, on the question paper, you have a free space that you can draw and write their synonyms on that separate piece of question paper. That's going to be easier. That's going to make you work less, and that's going to save your time. So you're not going to spend a lot of time in rewriting the question again. Good. Let me show you my own essay introduction, and then I will proceed to some of yours. So what I have written is I have taken a look to the question. The question again says about rich and poor, and about the government support. So I have started my essay like this. My paraphrase it introduction. Majority, it's like most of the people, yeah. Majority believe that affluent countries must be demanded to split their affluence among countries with a high poverty level. While others, so I have said, okay, so rich countries should share, while others strongly encourage needy nations to support their population on their own. This essay agrees with the fact, so I have paraphrased the first part of the question. Here, the first part is giving this, so I have paraphrased. Yeah, I haven't included the food and education because it is such as, if you want, you can include. If you don't, you can skip this part. You can include to make the number of words a little bit more. So yeah, I have written this. Then at the same time, I have written that well, and while the others strongly encourage. Then this essay agrees with the fact that countries of lower living. So I have taken all the part of the question paraphrased with these two sentences. I could even have done it like this. While others strongly, yes. This essay agrees. Then I have, after a paraphrase sentence, now I'm giving my own statements. So this essay agrees with the fact that countries of a lower living standards should be motivated to bring up various working economical strategies. This essay agrees with the fact that countries of a lower living standard should be motivated to create various working economical strategies in order to make better conditions. Because relying on developed ones, I mean, developed ones here, I'm talking about countries, yes? Because relying on developed ones may cause even stronger poverty in long term. In long term, it means like in the later case. In long term, it may even cause even more, the situation might get even worse. So, because rich countries do not support poor countries just because they want to do it. They support or they give something in order to get something. It's like they can provide poor countries with some food and education, and at the same time they can require maybe like the economical sphere of that country, or they can say, okay, so I'm going to support you with my with this education and food, but at the same time I want to take all the factories that provide food in your country, so I will be importing some food that is like made in my country, like China or whatever, so they can bring their own food and sell it in those countries, so that the living standards are not getting better. They might look that they're getting better for some period of time, but if you take a deeper look in the long term, this country will be directly dependent on that rich country. So that's what I meant by saying, because relying on developed ones may cause even stronger poverty in long term. So this is the way. So what I have done, I have paraphrased the whole question. I have given my opinion, and I have given a support idea. So this is what I'm going to show and explain in my essay. So let's try to look at some of yours. Yes. Okay, Mubarak has sent us. Okay, good. I can start from here. Then I'll go to different people have different opinions about the obligations. Okay, so you could write like this: different people have different opinions about the obligations of wealthy nations to nations and governments to the poorer nations. Yes, obligations of obligations of. Some people suppose that the rich segment that the rich segment of the population should support the needy nations in primary needs. Great. While others tend tend, not tended, should say while others tend to believe, because if you write tended, it's like in the past form. While others tend to believe that it's the duty of government to provide their uh, poorer nations, their poorer population, not nations, because nation is one thing. So poorer level population. I completely agree with the second statement from my first of belief. Uh, okay, so I completely agree with this second statement. Um, it is not advisable to write first statement or second statement. Why? Because as a reader, I need to go back and read the second statement again. So it's better for you to clearly emphasize again which side you're believing you or agreeing to. So it's better for you to write. I completely agree with, uh, well, like not supporting idea or supporting ideas. You shouldn't say second or first, because I don't know exactly which one is second. Yeah, I can see that in a coherent way, they're coming first and second. But in order to understand, I need to go back to your introduction and reread that again to understand which one was the second statement. Okay, so it's better not to write first or second statement. From my first from my first of from my belief, from my belief, the administration of the country should grant should grant the indigents by providing such things as food and education. Okay, so there are some couple of grammar mistakes, but you have clearly paraphrased. You have stated your idea. That's great, and it's better for you again to give one example, a little example, because oh, and I think this is pretty well. Just some grammar mistakes. Mubarak. Some people believe that rich cities should help poor states. Some people believe that rich cities should help poor states by providing them with various products such as food, raw materials, and others. Others is S. But other believe that poor nations must solve their money problems. It's instead of money problems, I would write financial problems. Um, I agree with the first opinion because again, it's first and second. You don't really want to write like this because this is not, it makes me as an examiner go back and read again which one was your first opinion, because if needy countries do not have the money to develop, how they support themselves. And okay, you are asking a question in your essay. It's not correct to use WH question words, because you're not stating your question point. You're giving your own idea or your own personal belief. So it's better not to write how they support themselves. You could better do it like this. I agree with this statement, because if needy countries do not have the money to develop, uh, they they will not be able to support themselves, and only the more developed rich prosperous. Wow, developed rich prosperous. You used three the same words just right next to each other. You don't need to do this. Developed will help them, not developed rich prosperous. They're all the same synonyms. You don't need to write three synonyms at the same time just by trying to show that you have lots of words that you know in English. It's not correct. Again, some people believe that rich cities. Here you have paraphrased. Great, I agree. You gave your opinion, and then you have to state exactly why do you believe or do you agree with the statement. You should say you have tried to state, but that was a little unclear. I didn't really understand the last sentence, how they support. I didn't really get it. It's not in English. Maybe that sounds better in Russian, but in English it's not clear. I think, and I look at the essay that you have written from the native speaker's perspective. I don't really get what you want to say. Okay, so next, Munira. Some people believe that rich nationalities should demand to participate their fortune with miserable people through supporting goods such as nutrition and instruction, while others think that it's government's obligation. Some believe that rich nations should be demanded. Some people believe that rich nationalities should be demanded. Should be demanded. It's like a passive voice. Should be demanded to participate with their fortune and miserable people through supporting with goods such as nutrition and you have used lots of fancy words. I would say fancy words. They are fancy actually, but I feel like you don't really know exactly how to use them properly. So in this case, what I advise you to do is, if you have seen these words first time in your life, if you have just Googled them online, and if you don't know exactly how to properly use them, try not to use them in this manner with a lot of mistakes. But yeah, well, right now what you're doing is you're practicing. You can learn. If you don't really know how to use them, it's better for you to Google. Ask the Google how to use this word in English. Is it an adjective? Is it a noun? Is it a pronoun? Whatever. You should first get to know what word it is. Well, actually, just Google it. You say rich. Just go Google. Say Google, and when you go to Google, you write rich / synonym. Beneath, Google will show you all the synonyms that is available to that word. And right next to the word, Google even writes, is it an adjective, is it a noun, or whatever it is. So if you know exactly that you need an adjective, you take the adjective one. If you need a verb, you need the adverb one, depending on the situation what you need. So you guys going to choose from Google the proper way. Okay, while others think that it's government's obligation for carrying their residents, these kinds of things. Okay, so actually we have a lot of things that you guys have written. You know, there are countries with different incomes. Kumush, there are not countries. We're not talking about countries. We're talking about Kumush right here. Okay, good. By the way, guys, is everything clear? Is everything like going step by step? Do you get everything what I'm saying? Is the internet connection good over there? Yes, yeah. Kamala, Mubarak, Jasur, Murajan. Good. Yes, great. Thank you. So, Kamush, you're not talking about the incomes of, well, actually, countries. We're talking about countries with different incomes. Incomes, they are mostly related to families or personalities. So, you say there are countries with different level of living standards. Okay, so they could be rich or poor. Yeah, that's great. We have some believe that well-heeled states should be claimed to provide things such as food and education, while others. Okay, so you're not showing exactly to whom. You should say some believe that well-heeled states should be claimed to provide things such as food and education to uh, poor countries. Yes, to poorer ones. You should exactly state to whom, while others think that poorer countries should be uh, answerable for their well-being. Answerable, responsible. Answerable is not is not a very good word. So try to use another one. Answerable, responsible instead of that. Uh, for their well-being themselves. I totally agree with that. That rich with the fact, not with that. You have used the same word again and again. I totally believe with that. No, I totally believe with this fact that rich nations should support deprived ones in order to peace in keep peace in own I didn't get what you want to say. Keep peace in own and in that country and help to renovate their economy. Okay, why? So you have clearly stated your paraphrased sentence. You have stated to which side do you agree or disagree. You have given, but you didn't say why is it like that. To keep peace in own. I think the to keep peace in own is your why to answer to why. But to keep peace in own, this is not correct in grammar, so I didn't really get what you wanted to say. That's fine, but you understand. Most of you have done a great job with introduction. Right now, I can see that you guys are really working on yourself. You guys are really trying to show that you have understood the topics that I have already given to you. Great, that's a great job. So keep on working on yourself, keep on continuing to work. So great. We're going to go back. So again, I will go back to the beginning of our lesson. You've got the question. After you get the question, you should analyze what type of question it is. You have analyzed. Then you have analyzed what is the general topic, what is the specific topic. That's great. You have analyzed. You have uh, taken away the general topic. You know exactly now you're not going to write about this. You know exactly that specific topics are the things that you need to show below in your essay. Uh, Later, you have specified the keywords and written down some synonyms to them, and then you have started writing your introduction. Great. So, before you write your introduction, one thing that we haven't done because we ran out of time, and then I said, okay, just write your introduction. You need to make a structure for your essay. This is also important. You know, when you make a structure for your essay, you know exactly what you're going to do. So let's take a look at the structure that we want to do in this essay. So the structure is introduction. You're going to paraphrase the question, what you have already done. You're not going to give opinion first. You're going to discuss the two questions. And then give opinion. Opinion. And one main idea. So in one paragraph of your body part, you're going to discuss both sides, and in another paragraph, you're going to give your opinion. You're going to discuss. When you're discussing, you're not giving your own opinion. It's like you're taking the topic as a general whole. You're talking about the specific questions generally. In main body part 1. In main body part 2, you're specifically emphasizing your own opinion about it. So this one is going to go to your main body part 2. Yeah, okay. I don't know, this is like the numbers. I don't really need these numbers. Anyway, just don't pay attention to the numbers. So we have the structured planning, we've got introduction, we've got paraphrased question, we've got this, we have discussed the two questions like 1 and 2, and we have stated our opinion, give one example. Then we're going to start by discussing the two questions in our top main body part 1. This is the topic sentence, then explain an example, then give our opinion in one main idea, topic sentence, explanation, example. And then when we're concluding, what we're going to do is summarize by discussing and then summarize one main idea. Okay, so that's the structure that you want to use in your essay. That's the structure that you want to use. Okay, so you don't really need to pay attention to the numbers. The Word is automatically doing this. Okay, so we've got 8 minutes left before the end of our lesson. What I wanted you to do is, again, I'm going to remind that you guys will have a chance to write on every topic that Cambridge has published until today. Don't lose this chance, this opportunity. I'm going to tell this right now. I'm going to say this in Uzbek. Qaranglar. Demak, sizlarda возможность bo'ladi hozir shu IELTSdagi Cambridge'dagi 14 ta Cambridge'dagi 14 ta 56 tema, har ikkita Cambridge'da 4 tadan bo'lsa, hamma 56 temani ko'rib chiqishga va 56 tema bo'yicha sizlarda essay yozishga возможность bo'ladi. Va uni tekshirilish возможности bor. Hozir men ularni tekshirib chiqaman. No, sizlarga yana shunaqa shart qo'yaman. Hamma eshityapti meni gapimni. Can you hear me? Of course. Okay. Demak, qaranglar, sizlarga qo'yilayotgan shart bu. Sizlarga o'zim mana essay bersam, oradan bir haftadan keyin, 4 kun, 5 kundan keyin sizlarga tushunib qolib, buni hozirgi ko'rayotganlar uchun ham, keyin onlaynda YouTube'da ko'radiganlar uchun ham aytyapman. Sizlarga mavzu berildimi? Hozir sizlarga Telegram gruppangizga, o'sha o'quvchilar gruppasiga tashlab yuboraman 4 ta mavzu. 4 tasi ham shu Cambridge 1 mavzulari bo'ladi. Bu 4 ta mavzuni demak sizlar nima qilishingiz kerak? You got to write your essays to all of these 4 questions. Why? Because you'll have 2 days, today and tomorrow, to be checked. If you send me before the deadline is the day after tomorrow. Demak, bugun erta sizlarga deadline, inningga уже men uni qabul qilmayman. Sababi уже biz Cambridge 2 ga o'tamiz. Cambridge 2 da demak qanaqa sizlar возможности foydali, ya'ni imkoniyatni to'g'ri ishlatib olishinglar uchun sizlarga berilgan muddatning ichida qilib menga jo'natsanglar, men ularni tekshirib turib sizlarga mana xatolar bor, mana qilishing kerak, mana qilishing kerak deb turib beraman. Sababi hammanglar bittanglar bog' haqida yozsanglar, bitta tog' haqida yozsanglar, bittanglar qanaqadir internetdan tema topib olib bu haqida yozsanglar, bittanglar bir asr oldin, даже karantin boshlanishidan oldin bergan temam haqida yozgan o'tirsizlar. Birinchidan menga a little bit difficulty yaratyapsizlar. Sababi men baribir sizlarni essaylarni o'qishimdan oldin o'zim qanaqa yozgan bo'lardim, o'zimning fikrlarim qanaqa deb turib, buni birinchi o'zim sopоставлять qilaman, keyin sizlarnikini tekshirib turib sizlarga baho beraman. Endi hammanglar har xil tema yozganingizdan keyin buni unikiga bunaqa, bunikiga bunaqa, bunikiga bunaqa deb o'ylashim birinchidan o'zimda ham vaqtim ketib qoldi. O'shaning uchun sizlarga hammanglarga berilgan mana 4 ta tema bugun jo'natilsa, hozirgi mana bu temani to'liq oxirigacha yetkazasizlar. Plus bundan oldingi test 1-ikini va test 3, test 4-ikini jo'nataman. Sizlarning zadaniyanglar bugun erta shuni to'liq o'tirib, step by step qilib, o'sha planninglardan boshlab, o'sha question analysis, question type analysis, structure, idea generation, sinonimlarni tegishsiz sinonimlarni yozib, keyin o'tirib o'sha structure planning qilib, structure yozganidan keyin to'liq essaylarni yozib, undan keyin oxirida qilishingiz kerak bo'ladigan narsa, I will repeat that again. You need to check your essay. So how you're going to check? Checking qilayotganinglar qanaqa? Demak, birinchi o'chirda har bitta sentence yozganinglardan keyin srazu checking qilasiz. Ya'ni you wrote one sentence, bitta sentence yozdinglarmi, orqasidan srazu mana o'qib tekshiringlar. Keyin ikkinchi sentence yozasizlar. Then after that you need to check that again. After that you need to write third sentence. Then you should check it again. Demak, har bittasini yoz check qilasiz, keyin butun paragraf yozgandan keyin yana boshdan paragrafga borib checking qilasiz. Sababi birinchi marta sentence checking qilayotganda sizlar grammar and vocabulary mistakelarni checking qilsanglar, the next time when you're checking, you're going to check the coherence and cohesion of your essay. Ya'ni qanchalik gap so'z sentencelar bir-biriga ma'no jihatdan ham, so'zlar ham ma'no jihatdan bir-biriga ulanayotganini ikkinchi stepda tekshirasiz. Birinchi marta ko'rinmasa sizlarga xatolar, ikkinchi marta sizlar ko'rinadi. Yana bir marta qaytaryapman. I have said that in Uzbek. Now I want to say that in English again. You guys have a great chance and opportunity to be checked. To improve your writing skills. But that's going to be limited. Okay, so I'm not going to give you like year-end limitless support. I will, but not in this manner, because you guys have really, you don't really have a lot of time to prepare. You need to rush. You need to be a little bit in a hurry. But as I have said in my previous YouTube video, I said you need to do what? You need to shake a leg. You need to shake a leg. You need to hurry. You need to shake a leg. Please watch that movie on YouTube. I'm every lesson, every movie that I'm uploading, I'm giving one idiom in order to support you. And at the end of every video, I'm asking a question in order to make you comment below the video. But there was only one comment from a student from abroad. He answered the question, but none of you did. So that's how I check. If you really watch the video until the end, and if you're really participating, that's how I'm going to check if you're actively doing everything that I'm sending. If you don't, then this is the way comes to you back. If you want to get something, you need to contribute. You need to give your time. You need to really work on that, and then God sees everything. God will give you definitely a result, and you will achieve a high score that you want to. I'm doing everything that I can, so you should try yourself from your own side. Qarshi ikki qo'ldan chiqadi. Bitta taraf harakat qilgani bilan havoda o'zi qolib ketadi, hech qanaqa ovoz ham tovush ham chiqmaydi. Qarshi ikki qo'ldan chiqadi degani men harakat qilaman, sizlar o'zinglarning harakatinglarni qilishingiz kerak. Ko'proq o'zinglarning stilida ishlashingiz kerak. Yana bir marta aytaman, 4 ta esa 2 kun deadline. Yozganlar, ulgurganlarniki tekshiriladi, keyinroq jo'natilganlarniki prosta shu ignore box ichida yotaveradi. Xafa bo'lmaysizlar. This is the strict rule, and yeah, please keep watching all the videos. O'sha yerdan yangiliklarni ham ko'rib borasizlar. Savollar bormi? Так, no, Munira. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. You're pretty much welcome, guys. The only thing that I want from you is be a little bit active. Try to work harder. You need to get a high score. I really want you to get a high score, although we are working online. Actually, online lessons are even better. Trust me, if you do a lot, if you work hard, online lessons are going to help you even more, because you can rewatch the same lesson again and again. You can get some more things. If you couldn't understand from the first time, you can watch that again and then get those ideas that you couldn't understand during the lesson, after the lesson. And well, don't be shy. Ask me if you have questions. Contact me. Send it to my Telegram. Ask me your questions. Like, be active. Thank you for your participation. Hope to see you guys later. Be active. I'm gonna send you your questions that you need to send your essay to. See you. Goodbye.